Is brought to you by your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyOffers.com.
All right, it's 8:16. Although the presidential election is over, there's a topic that we need to talk about. You know, all of the things that we've seen in the media this day that's really got the nation divided. But more importantly, our children, they're really confused. If you sit down and ask your children what's happening and what their thoughts are, you'll hear some interesting reactions.
Yeah, we're talking all about it today with the moms, Denise Albert, Melissa Musin-Gerstein. Guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
You know, we see it all over the TV right now. I mean, it's every news cycle, every feed, people are protesting.
Yeah.
You see it online. You know, the kids, of course, you know, they're going to see it no matter what. What do we tell them about what's going on?
Especially with all the hate crime that's now
Absolutely.
going on, which we didn't expect. So this is every day there's something new that we have to discuss with our children, and we can't ignore it. And so a lot of what is going on, I have said, is exactly the opposite of what we've always taught our children to be, which is tolerant, accepting, not bullies. And so the kids are angry and the kids are talking about it, and then they're watching the news and they're seeing what's going on in our country right now, and it is so upsetting. I mean, the only thing that I can think of and that I've spoken to my children about is that we can all make a difference. And so I feel like we each have to choose something, choose something that you are passionate about, involve our children and get involved.
I think it's important to figure out the kids by their ages and have this conversation, because the topic of hate, if you really look at the word and dissect the word hate, that's very difficult for a child to understand. 5 to 10, 10 to 15. I mean, the breadth of it changes.
Yes.
But how do you discuss hate? What is hate?
Well, first of all, it's interesting that you said that as far as the ages, because I asked my second grade teacher, did you discuss the election? She looked at me and she goes, Melissa, they're 7. So there's no conversation happening in their classrooms about it. But of course, there's playground chatter and there's stuff going on at home. What I'm doing in my house, and actually I think we all have to do, is we have to turn the page and we have to move forward, even with all this other stuff going on, because he is our president and this is what we are going to be looking towards for the next 4 years. I have a 14-year-old who does have a lot of questions. We're answering them. I think you have to be very careful in any environment and in your community about how you're talking about it. And I think it's really important also now you can talk about the election process with our kids for the first time. I mean, there's certain amendments in the Constitution that they probably never really understood. And this is how this person won, and this is how we're having...
But we have to get involved and make a difference, because what's happening is something that we're not used to. And so you can't, I understand to be accepting and to just turn the page, but this is not about just turning the page. This is really about getting involved, because there are real issues.
Well, did you see the video of SUNY Geneseo? Like the videos, the hatred videos, and then they have the water fountains that say black and white. I mean, these kids don't know and don't understand. There was a time in America where this was very real, and many people lost their lives for the right to be considered human beings in this country. And it wasn't that long ago. So I feel like, you know, they grew up in a generation where they don't really understand the sacrifices that were made.
And by the way, neither do we, because that wasn't really our time either, but our parents and our
yes
grandparents.
and no. I grew up in a state where people threw pennies at me, so I do sort of understand. I mean, I'm from the Midwest.
I think we've all experienced hatred on different levels.
Yes, but I think if we keep in our homes love and confidence and guide our children with kindness, that will hopefully, that's the best that we can do, that it will breathe across other areas.
Find a cause and get involved, because we can all make a difference, and that's what I'm figuring out with my children right now. Because and if you see hate, get involved, stop it, do in a legal way.
And the only way you can really triumph over hate is to really just to create a loving atmosphere, a safe atmosphere for your kids.
Because if they are scared, they need to be able to come to you. If they hear something in the playground or a kid says something that really scares them, they feel fearful and anxious, they need to be able to come to you so that you can properly address this.
And that Mama Bear comes out and takes care of it along with Papa Bear. Boom, boom, boom.
Guys, thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you.